Hello world, how you beautiful people doing? Another beautiful day. It's me. How y'all doing? Look, the Xbox is light years ahead of Sony, okay? So for all you Sony fanboys out there that you think Xbox is better, you think PlayStation is better than Xbox, you're in for a rude awakening. But anyway, see, Sony is playing catch up to Microsoft. See, you guys were so focused on your sales and your so-called exclusives. But when Phil Spencer came out and said sales ain't the end all be all to video games, and he said in another article he talked about he doesn't want to focus on console sales anymore. He was talking about the infrastructure, okay? So now the Xbox Series X is better than PS5. Everybody knows it. But anyway, but now Sony is trying to follow Microsoft blueprint. Guess what? They're coming out with it's the article reads like this. We have Xbox Gamepass, right? It's like the Netflix of video games, okay? But I'm glad Microsoft got the name Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass, period. That's a perfect name in answer to Netflix. Listen to this. So it looks like PlayStation is going to come up with their own type of Game Pass. So in other words, if you can't beat them, join them. Listen to this. This is on Gamers Rant. It says here, PlayStation tease answer to Xbox Game Pass service. Sony Interactive Entertainment boss Jim Ryan suggests that PlayStation will soon have an answer to Microsoft Xbox Game Pass service. Microsoft Xbox Game Pass service has been a huge hit so far, giving players undeniable bang for their bucks. For a relatively small fee, gamers across Android, PC, and Xbox can have instant access to 100 games through Game Pass, including all major first-party Xbox games on their first day of release. Microsoft has since gone to great lengths to make Xbox Game Pass even and more attractive prospect to consumers, as it clearly a key component of its strategy moving forward. PlayStation has yet to have a real answer to Xbox Game Pass, but that may change in the future. Speaking at TASS, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan stated that there is actually news to come in regards to PlayStation answer to Game Pass. Ryan also pointed out that Sony does have subscription service through PlayStation Now, which allow users to live stream PS3 and PS4 games. However, PlayStation Now doesn't come close to matching the scope of Game Pass, as it comprised mainly of older titles and lacking the many other perks that a Game Pass subscription comes with. Okay? So, again, if you can't beat them, join them. Okay? See, when Phil Spencer came out and sent a message to Sony and Nintendo when he said sales is not the end all be all to video game, he was talking about the infrastructure. Okay? And what Microsoft did, it started with the 360, but they moved it over to Xbox One and they really worked on it, and then they moved it over to the Series X. And look where they're at. They had This Week on Xbox that comes on every Friday like today. They got Xbox Live, Games with Gold, Game Pass, xCloud. I think they got EA Access too, that lets you play EA games. They got all kind of service bundled in on that infrastructure with the Xbox. When Phil Spencer said sales ain't the end all be all to video games, he was talking about infrastructure. He was talking about the infrastructure of the console. And you Sony fanboys and you Nintendo fanboys, y'all took that for granted. Okay? You took things for granted. The Wii U had a backwards compatibility. The PlayStation 3 had a backwards compatibility with the 20 and the 60 gig. And they both abandoned it. and took it for granted. So when Microsoft announced they were coming out with Game Pass, the Sony fanboys on YouTube, they tried to make fun of it. But Game Pass was doing damage, okay, to PlayStation Now, okay? And now all of a sudden, Sony seeing that the damage that the Xbox Game Pass is doing, now they want to decide to join Microsoft. They got to come up with their own. See, Sony's playing catch up to Microsoft. See, while they were so focused on sales numbers and exclusive, Sony was so focused on sales numbers and exclusive that they forgot to take care of their infrastructure. They thought that wasn't important. But Microsoft, on the other hand, with Phil Spencer said, look, sales ain't the end all be all to video games. We're not worried about sales. We are more worried about our infrastructure of the Xbox. That was the key. And look at them now. So now Sony is trying to do the same thing they're doing. Sony's playing catch up, but Microsoft is up here and Sony's down here. And Nintendo has to do the same thing too. Here's the deal. Like I told you before, the answer to the Nintendo fan base problem is the Wii U. The Wii U had the infrastructure. Everything was there. All they had to do was put some power behind the system and continue using it and make it backwards compatible with GameCube. They had everything right there. They had the eShop that needed to be worked on. The Miiverse needed to be worked on. The Mii Maker, the Friends List, the infrastructure of the Wii U needed to be worked on. The Switch should have never been built. Okay? Look at Microsoft. They're cruising. They're cruising. Game Pass is no joke. They took that name, Game Pass. Sold. It's going to be hard to beat that name. Game Pass. You got Netflix? Game Pass. It's going to be hard to beat my Xbox Game Pass. Okay? It's going to be really, really, really hard. Okay? But anyway, I'm going to leave a link in the description box so y'all can read this article for yourself. But nice talking to you, beautiful people. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored, dark side. Shh. I'm gone. Peace.